Haya Ashua Haya Bahashem Hamashiach Yishai. This is Yakshima. We are the sanctified seed of Jeshurun, set apart offspring of the Most High, chosen peculiar treasure in the earth, hoping, praying, and seeking to keep His laws, statutes, and commandments with fear and trembling, faith in the Mashiach Yishai, and walking the fruits of the Kodash Ruach power, right? Coming before y'all again, still up here in the city, right? For one more day, Most High willing. We'll leave tomorrow. Most High will get on back down to the wilderness, in which Most High will we do the lesson on the wilderness, right? Pray y'all being strong. Pray y'all staying faithful. Pray you're not wavering in your faith. Pray you're not grieving the spirit. Pray you got your eyes open, you're watching and you're praying, right? All praise to the Most Mighty. So this is the second lesson I wanted to do. That's been on my mind. We're going to revisit, the teaching I did on Ruth, right, and her ethnicity and the things pertaining to her, that show clearly and continually that she is of the nation of Israel. On the first video, I basically just went over the land, right, to show that where she was dwelling and where, Naomi was taken with her husband and her two sons to go dwell was Reubenite territory, right? This one, we're just going to go over some things lawfully, right, and biblically, to show that if she was Moab, that they would be breaking scripture, breaking laws continually all through the scripture if she is an ethnic Moabite, right? So we're going to touch just a couple things right quick, just as we, begin to revisit, right? And we're not gonna repeat pretty much nothing. We might just go over a couple things, but we're just gonna hit some real quick things, right? So we're gonna start off in Ruth, right? We're gonna hit one thing right off the top, right? We are being blessed. It's getting chilly, right? We are in the third new moon, so it's getting chilly, So we got Ruth. One thing I didn't bring out in the video, all the way with scripture, I'm going to hit that. Matter of fact, I'll hit that first, right? So we're going to read it all in one verse. This is Ruth chapter 1 and verse 22, right? It says, so Naomi returned. This is after the death of her husband, her two sons, and one of the daughters of, one of the two wives of her two deceased sons decided to come back with her, right? So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, with her, which returned out of the country of Moab, and they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of barley harvest. We already went over according to the barley harvest. This is the beginning of the year. We know this because that's when the children of Israel came out of Egypt, when the barley and the flax were in ear. So we know this is the beginning of the year. And it also explains this in 2 Samuel 21 and 9. We'll hit that right quick as we get started. 2 Samuel 21 and 9. Most High is merciful, you guys. Most High is wonderful. 2 Samuel 21 and 9. And he delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the hill before the Most High, and they fell all seven together and were put to death in the days of the harvest, in the first days, in the beginning of the barley harvest. So this is just telling you that the beginning of the barley harvest is in the first days. We get it also in the law right quick. Exodus 9 to show. Remember the Mashiach, the Most High said that this should be a beginning of days for you when he brought us out. This is Exodus chapter 9 and verse 31. And the flax and the barley was smitten, for the barley was in ear, and the flax was bold, meaning it's ready to be harvested when it's in ear. And this is when the Most High bring our forefathers out of the children of Israel, just before the last few plagues, right? Now, let's get, right, we also read right there, the country of Moab, right? we want to deal with that right quick. So we go to Numbers chapter 20, right? Because it says what? Let's read it. Ruth 1 and 22. So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabitess, her father-in-law, with her, which returned out of the country of Moab, because this is where they were at. Let's see scripturally what the country of Moab is. And I have this marked, but I didn't bring it out, right, in the first one. So we'll bring it out now just to show what that is, all right? So this is Numbers 21, right? And verse 20, it says, and from Bamoth in the valley that is in the country of Moab to the top of Pisgah, which looketh toward Jeshimon. So Pisgah, y'all know, right? That's where Moses went up and gave up the ghost. Let's go there. And we know that is also known as what? Nebo. This is how you tie it all together. You know that they couldn't have been in the southern, country of Moab during the time of the judges, because Heshbon is in the northern part, Pisgah is in the northern part of the former Moab land that we conquered from the Amorites. So it can't be said they went into the actual country of Moab, leaving Israelite territory because of a famine and going down into the Moabite land south of the river Arnon, right? The river Arnon, above the river Arnon, that's where Nebo is. That's where Dihmon is. That's where Heshbon is. That's where Bezer is. This is where the territory of Reuben was, from Arnon unto Jabbok, right? So we got here Deuteronomy 34 and 1. And Moses went up from the plains of Moab. So might be a little confusion. Is these two different places? No. Right? How do we know? And Moses went up from the plains of Moab unto the mountain of Nebo to the top of Pisgah, that is over against Jericho. So we just read in Numbers 21 and 20, it says, and from Bamoth in the valleys, that is in the country of Moab, to the top of Pisgah. Same place. So is country of Moab and plains of Moab synonymous? Yes, it is. So simple, right? Let's get another one also on Deuteronomy 30. Let's see, 32 and verse 48. It says, and the Most High spake unto Moses that self same day, saying, get thee up unto this mountain Abarim, unto Mount Nebo. So Abarim, synonymous with Mount Nebo. We went over this before, which is in the land of Moab. You see that? That is over against Jericho. And behold, the land of Canaan. Look at the land of Canaan, which I will give unto the children of Israel for possession. So we're going on this to show that the country of Moab and the plains of Moab is the same thing. Let's get another verse. Bring it. They just keep on, bringing it out. This is Numbers 32. All right, Numbers 32 and verse. We'll start up. We'll just read from the top. Numbers 32 and 1. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of cattle. And when they saw the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, and behold, the place was a place for cattle. Mind you, Jazer is where we fought with the Amorites, right? In Amorite territory, which is still being called the land of Moab or the country of Moab. We'll hit it. Verse 2. The children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spake unto Moses and to Eleazar the priest and unto the princes of the congregation, saying, Ataroth and Dibon and Jazer and Nimrah and Heshbon and Elilah and Shabam and Nebo were Moses, right? And beyond, even the country which the Most High smote before the children, for the congregation of Israel, is a land for cattle, and thy servants have cattle. So this is showing you the land that the Most High gave us, they took from the Amorites. All these cities are in that land, and it's called the country, right? The country, right? Let's get a list a little bit more, right? Let's go to Joshua. All right, let me see. Deuteronomy 4. Get a little bit there too. Deuteronomy 4. and we want to go to we want to go to Joshua. Yeah, Joshua 13, and we'll read a little bit right there. Joshua 13. We want it crystal clear. And why does it have to be done? Because this last days we got people cleaving, right, trying to make a lane, make a path, make a promise, make some way of a covenant to be made with non-Israelites to get these promises that were only given to the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So we have to deal with this and let it be known, right? This is Reuben chapter 13. I mean, Reuben, Joshua chapter 13, and let's see. Let's read start at 23. All right. Matter of fact, let's read 21. It says, and all the cities of the plain of what? Plain of Moab, and all the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites. Sihon was the king of the Amorites who took this land previously from Ammon, right? And it says what? Which reigned in Heshbon, which is in the Amorite land, right? The northern part, whom Moses smote with the princes of Midian, Evi, and Rechem, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, which were dukes of Sihon, dwelling in the country, right? Still bringing out that this is a country, right? Talking about Moab. Dropping down to verse 23. And the border of the children of Reuben was Jordan on the west, and the border thereof, this was the inheritance of the children of Reuben after their families, the cities and villages thereof. Let's read some of the cities. And Moses gave an inheritance unto the tribe of Gad, even unto the children of Gad, according to their families. Verse 25. And their coast was Jazer, and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the children of Ammon unto the Aror that is before Rabbah. So from Gilead all the way down to Ur, which is a city in the midst of the river of Arnon, is all Gadite and Reuben land. Now let's look at some of the cities. That is before Rabbah. That is Rabbath Ammon. Verse 26. And from Heshbon unto Ramath Mizpah and Beton, and from Mahanaim unto the border of Debir, and the valley Beth Aram. Matter of fact, let me drop down to what I want. All right. Verse 31. And half Gilead and Ashtaroth and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og of Bashan. So this getting you from Bashan, Og of Bashan, all the way down to Sihon, the Amorite, into the river Arnon. Right? And half Gilead and Ashtaroth and Edrei, cities of the king of Og in Bashan, were pertaining unto the children of Machir of the sons of Manasseh, even to the one half of the children of Machir of their families. Verse 32. These are the countries which Moses did distribute for an inheritance in the plains of Moab on the other side of Jordan by Jericho eastward. You understand? So understand, the land that was given to our forefathers is in the country of Moab, and it's the same thing as the plains of Moab. It's the same thing. We showed that right off the top. Also, we'll get Joshua 20 and 8, right? And on the other side by Jordan, Jericho, eastward, we read this verbiage already in Deuteronomy 34, talking about Moses. We read it already, salam. We read this already in Deuteronomy 32, and we read this already in Deuteronomy 21 and 20, right? Showing what the plains representing, right? Joshua 20 and 8. And on the other side, Jordan by Jericho eastward, they assigned Bezer in the wilderness upon the plain out of the tribe of Reuben, which during the time of the judges is what? It's the Reubenite land in the land, former land of the Amorites, which before them were of the land of the Moabites, right? So just want to deal with that, right? Now, let's hit another point that I didn't touch on as much as I could have. In Ruth chapter 1 and verse 13. What does it say? It says, would ye tarry, Ruth chapter 1 and verse 11, right? It says, and Naomi said, turn again, my daughters, why will you go with me? Meaning, why are you going to come with me back to Bethlehem, Judah? Are there yet any more sons in my womb that they may be your husbands? Why does Naomi reverence the husbands that could possibly be for Ruth and Orpah as her sons? Why didn't she say you can marry anybody over there? Why is she telling them I don't got no more sons for you to marry, right? Verse 12, turn again, my daughters, go your way, right? For I am too old to have a husband, meaning how am I going to have more sons? Because I'm too old to even get married. You understand? If I should say I have hope, if I should have a husband, if I did have a husband, also tonight, and should also bear more sons. She's referencing, I can't even have more kids. I'm older. Why is she referencing this though, right? One more verse, verse 13. Would ye tarry? Would you wait for them till they were grown? Why would these two sisters, these two daughters, Orpha and Ruth, have to wait till Ruth have more sons to marry them, right? And this is all in context of if they're Moabites, ethnic Moabites, non-Israelites. Why is she mentioning this to them as an ordinance for them, right? Would ye stay for them? Would ye stay for them, meaning stay unmarried for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieved me much for your sakes that the hand of the Most High is going out against me. So it's like you can't this is the rule, right? Now look, where is she getting this rule from? Let's go to the law. Right? Let's go to the law. In fact, let me go up one. Let's go to okay, so that will be Deuteronomy 20. Oh, that would be Numbers, all right? This is what we're going to do. Let's look at this. This is Numbers 36, right? This is in reference to the daughters of Zelophehad, right? We're going to touch a couple points. Numbers 36 and 1. Let's see. It says, where's that? Numbers 36 and 2. These are the daughters of Zelophehad, the tribe of Manasseh. It says, and they said, this is Numbers 36 and 2. And they said, the Most High commanded my master to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And my master was commanded by the Most High to give the inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, unto his daughters. Right? And if they be married to any of the sons of other tribes of the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our father, and shall be put in the inheritance of the tribe wherein they are received. So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance. This is what I concluded of why Naomi's two sons died, because they left Judah, which is okay to leave, and be a sojourner in Reuben, but they married to the daughters of another tribe. Now, if there was an inheritance with the tribe of Ruth and Orpha, which it could have been, because Ruth tells them to return to their mother. Let's read it. Let's read it. Right? Let's read it. This is how we got to break down what's happening, right? Okay, it says, back to the people. Okay, it says return to thy people, right? I promise I saw where it says she returned to her, let me see. Let me see. Yes. Yeah, she just tells them to go your way, to go back home, right? Now, what this would do is it would have since they married him, if their daughters died, then the inheritance would have went to these sons of Bethlehem, Judah, right? And that would have made this law, it would have broke. That's why the Most High said you got to marry two of your own tribe. So went over there, that could be the reason why which I concluded they perished. Now, Amalek, I don't know why he perished, right? The wife of Naomi, I don't know, understand. Maybe because he went and got the daughters for them, right? Because this is something that the fathers would have to do. They would have to go purchase the daughters, or maybe the sons purchased them for themselves. But all three of them passed. So we look at this, mind you, this gives you some understanding that there's an inheritance. When a man dies, the inheritance is going to go to the wife, and that's what we're going to get next, right? It says Let's read it. Let's read it. No. So now we're going to get the law that says that's what it does, right? So we're going to go to Deuteronomy 25, I think it is. Okay, 25. Let me see. Hold on. No. Let's see if it's numbers. What we're going to read is that, yeah. What we're going to read is that when a man gets married and he don't have no sons, the inheritance there's a lineage of how it goes, who it's supposed to go to. All right. Numbers, I think it's 27. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Here we go. All right. It's Numbers 27, right? In verse 6, it says, And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, The daughters of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their fathers' brethren, and meaning whatever tribe they're from, right? And thou shalt cause the inheritance of their fathers to pass unto them. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. Now he's going to give the full breakdown of this. If a man die and have no son, so mind you, Elimelech died and both his sons died, right? So what happened? So, and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. He don't have no daughters either though. And if he have no brethren, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren. And if his father have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family, and he shall possess it, and it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as the Most High commanded Moses. So, understand, and we're gonna touch the point with Naomi talking about she don't have no more kids, but we just got to bring this out right now. Understand that the inheritance is with Naomi when she returns back to Bethlehem, Judah, because her husband died over there in the Reubenite land. So you go back home, mind you, she's like, she wants to sell the land, right? She wants to sell it. So the people that are close to kin, they have the right in order who gets to buy it first. So when she's saying, okay, we just went through who it is that can get the inheritance. There's no sons, there's no daughters, and the next one up is a father's brother or close of kin, right? And so the point I want to make is, let me see, it's slipping on my mind. Hold on. Who has the inheritance right now, right? Who has inheritance is Naomi. So when we go back now to Ruth and we read, we know what's going on here. The inheritance, okay, yeah. So let's just hit that first. Lock you up, I'm confusing y'all. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Naomi's telling them, this is Deuteronomy 25 and 5. If brethren dwell together and one of them die and have no child, so the children, Mahan, both Naomi's sons didn't have no kids with Orpha and Ruth. So it says, if brethren dwell together and one of them die and have no children, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. She can't go marry to another whole family. She have to do what? Her husband's brother shall go in unto her, but both the brothers dead, right? And there's no other brothers. And take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her. Why? And it shall be that the firstborn which she bears shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. So his generations continue. So understand, Naomi's telling Ruth and Orpha, look, I can't get married because I ain't got no more sons for you to marry, because you can't go marry according to our law. Mind you, she's an Israelite. This is what she's supposed to do. If she's not an Israelite, she don't even have to do none of this stuff. But she's telling them off the top. Yo, I don't have no sons. I'm too old to get married. And if I do get married and have a son, are you going to wait till they grow up to the age that they can marry you, so then they can just raise up seed for you? This is what she's explaining, this lawful thing that's only applied to Israel unto these girls that are Israelites. If they're not Israelites, she don't even have to do none of this stuff, you guys. Do you understand? Just finishing up, right? And it shall be, verse 7, if a man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders and say, my husband's brother refuseth to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel, and he will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. And of course, it talks about if he don't want to do it, she's supposed to take his shoe off and spit in his face. Now, Ruth had the option to do that, but she didn't do that. Does that make her the situation unvalid and she's not an Israelite? No, because she just chose not to do it. She didn't do it. Right? Now, almost done touching on that little thing, right? So that's why she explains this thing to her. If she's not Israel, she doesn't have to explain it to her. Let's see if she is an ethnic Moabite. Let's see what the law says in regards to her, right? Because the only way that she's going to be around us is if she's a captive, right? That's the only way she's going to be around us. Now we got to read something else. Let's read real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 2, right? In verse 2 and verse, oh, we got to read 21. Yeah, let's go back. Numbers 21. All right. Okay, help me, Father. Help me, Father. Okay. Israel. So yeah, we gotta go up one. The Most High said what? Hold on, y'all. Oh, this is weird. Hold on, y'all. Let's do it around me. I was already in the right place. Okay. Deuteronomy. Want to read verbatim, right? Here we go. Want to read verbatim. Okay. Well then, gotta be back right here. Okay, bam, it's right here. Deuteronomy 2 and 9. It says, and the Most High said unto me, distress not the Moabites, neither contend with them in battle, for I will not give thee of their land for a possession, because I have given Ar unto the children of Lot for a possession. So we did not fight the Moabites, right? We can't add that to the law. We can't say anything. We did not fight with them. We did not meddle with them, because the Most High said that land is not a land given to you, right? Now, but for some reason, if she is a captive of Moab ethnically, let's look at what it says. Deuteronomy 21 and 10. When thou goest forth to war, which we didn't go to war in Moab, against thine enemies, and the Most High thy power hath delivered them into thine hand, and thou takest them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, right? And hast desired unto her that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. The only way we can make this fit is say, Moab, Ruth and Orpha left from the land of Moab south of Arnon, between Arnon and the Bookers of Red, and came into the Reubenite territory and knew their position, in the Reubenite territory. And the two sons of Naomi and married them, right? Married them, and they both died. Now, of course, they would have had to deal with them this way, right? What does it say have to deal with them? How does it say? It says, verse 11, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Then thou shalt bring her home to thy house, and she shall shave her head, and pare her nails, and she shall put off the raiment of her captivity from off her, which we don't read about none of this happening in Ruth, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. Now check this out, verse 14. And if it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. So if she's a heathen, right? She's a real Moabite. Her husband died. She's supposed to get on, and she can be free and go do her thing. She comes with Naomi. Naomi would be breaking the law by selling her. Because did Boaz buy her? Yes, he did. Boaz bought her. She was part of the redeeming of who? Naomi. Let's read it. It said what? Let's read it again. Deuteronomy 21:1-14. If it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. You can't do that. Let's read that she got bought. And that can be something else. Whoever, right, want to go over this situation and try to define. Why did they sell her? Why did Naomi sell her, right? Mind you, let's read right quick, Ruth chapter 3, verse 1. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, Ruth's mother-in-law, said unto her, my daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? Should I not look for you to get you a husband? Right? So, however she goes about, whatever happens with her, Naomi's responsible for it. Let's read what happens. In Ruth chapter 4, what does it says? In verse chapter 5. Ruth chapter 4, verse 5. Then said Boaz, what day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, because Naomi wants to sell the inheritance of her father, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead. So you got to buy her too. And then it says what? To raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. So now the transgression, if she's Moab, of her marrying an Israelite, is going to be repeated now. Now we're not supposed to marry non-Israelites. Now it's going to be repeated. They're going to marry the one that died, Malhon, for marrying Ruth. Now this close kinsman got to marry her now. Let's see what happened. Verse 6. And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself unless I mar my own inheritance. I'm going to mess up my own inheritance that I got, because why would I marry her and then it's not even going to be according to the inheritance I'm going to leave for my children. The seed's going to be raised up in the name of Malhon, not me. So you're going to mess up my inheritance. And what does he say? Redeem thou my right to thyself. You take the right of my redemption, Boaz, for I cannot redeem it, right? Now, drop down to verse 8. Verse 9, it says, and Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, ye are witnesses this day that I have bought, that means purchased, that which was Elimelech's, and all that was Chilion's and Mahon's of the hands of Naomi. Those are the two sons of Naomi. Verse 10, moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Malhon, have I purchased. He bought her to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, which is another lawful thing that does not apply to non-Israelites. Y'all see this? That the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren and from the gate of his place. Ye are witnesses this day. I hope y'all see this crystal clear, right? She's not fitting the lawful ordinances of an Israelite, of a non-Israelite, to be getting remarried unto Israel if she's a Moabite, and a name and a seed being raised up for her. Let's read one more about who we supposed to marry, right? And then we're going to touch on the stuff. I didn't even start touching on the stuff I really want to touch on. Right? This is Numbers chapter 36 and verse 6. This is the thing which the Most High had commanded concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them marry to whom they think best, only to the family of the tribe of their fathers shall they marry. So this is the transgression that Chilion and Molon, they broke this. All right? Because we can't put Judites, Ephrathites in Reuben's territory to say, oh, they married some Judites over there that happen to live over there. We can't put that there, right? So according to the time of the judges, where Reubenites were living and dwelling and possessed in that land, that will be a law they broke, right? So shall, verse 7, so shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. This is why Naomi's saying, stay and go to the rulers of your people, the gods of your people. Let's read that. Stay over there. Why are you coming over here with me? Ruth, like, nah, I want to go with you. Right? What does it say? What does Ruth say? This is Ruth chapter 1 and verse 15. And she said, behold, thy sister, because Orpha ended up leaving. She's telling Ruth 1 and 15. And she said, behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people and unto her gods. Plural. Return thou after thy sister-in-law. Let's get that right quick. I know we went over this, but I just got to hit it again. All right. This is Exodus 22. Exodus 22 and 28. Thou shalt not revel the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. Why? Because they were rulers set up over every nation to judge them in just judgment, right? That's what he said. I'm going to read that right quick too, and then we'll get right back into what we want to do. Let's see. Here we go. This is Exodus 18 and 20. Matter of fact, let me see. 18 and 20. It says, and thou shalt teach them ordinances. Well, let me go up. 18 and okay, 18 and 20. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shalt show them the way therein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear higher, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, and rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens, and let them judge the people at all seasons. And shall be that every great matter they bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy right quick to show, right, this in a little more detail. This is okay. More detail. Hold on. That's like it, y'all. I am having some issues today. Y'all pray for me. I'm having issues today, man. Trying to get these I want these specific verses, man. Hold on. Alright. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on one second. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Deuteronomy 1. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is what I want. Deuteronomy 1, right? In verse 13. Take ye wise men and understanding and known amongst your tribes, right? These are in the tribe. This is one thing I brought out that I was a little off on. The rulers are of each tribe, right? And I will make them rulers over you, right? Jumping down to 15. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, captains over hundreds, captains over fifties, and captains over ten, and officers among your tribes. And I charged your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and the judges, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him. So this is showing you there will be a stranger, right? That will also get judged according to the judges that were in certain lands, right? Shalom, shalom, family. All praise to the Most High. And so this is why Naomi's telling her, go to your gods, because you got judges in your tribe already that Moses already set forth, right? Now, let's touch on some things, right? If she's an ethnic Moabite, let's look at some of the things that we must consider to be confusion, right? Confusion. If we say that Ruth is a Moabite, right? Let's look at what happened with the children of Israel when they encountered some Moabites in the wilderness. This is Numbers chapter 25, verse 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab, with the females of Moab. Y'all understand? And they called Israelites unto the sacrifices of their powers, of Moabite powers. And the people did eat and bow down to their powers. And Israel joined themselves unto Baal Peor, and the anger of Ahiah was kindled against Israel. Is this a horrible thing or not? Yes, it is. Who did this? The women. The women did that. Now let's look in the law how evil this was, man. How evil this was. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 4. Let me see. No. Let's see. No, let's get 34. 34. We'll read it there. Exodus. We want it verbatim. Oh, no, that's right. Let me go back to 20. 20. Yeah. Salaki, y'all. What is going on today? Exodus 20, all right? So thou shalt make unto thee, Exodus 20 and 4. Thou shalt make unto thee not any engraven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I am the Most High, thy power, and my jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. So our forefathers violated this, right? Let's get another one that's more particular, right? Let's get 20, Leviticus 26. That's what I want. Listen to this, right? Leviticus 26. Listen to this, man. All right, Leviticus 26. And let's see what verse it is. What verse is it? What is going on today, y'all? Hold on, you guys. This is... Oh, man. Okay, Exodus. This is Exodus 34. All right. Listen to this. Exodus 34 and verse 14. The Most High just said he was jealous, right? In Exodus 20. Exodus 34 and 14. For thou shalt worship no other power, for the Most High, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. It said that the Moabite woman, they enticed us, sexually, and we dealt with them and joined unto the deity Baal Peor, right? Verse 15. Lest thou make an covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their powers, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifices, and thou shalt not take of their daughters unto their sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go horn after thy gods. This is exactly what happened with the daughters of Moab. Reading it again, Moab 25:1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. Verbatim. And they called the people unto their sacrifices of their gods. Verbatim. And the people did eat and bow down to their gods. Verbatim. And Israel joined themselves unto Baal Peor, and the anger of Ahijah was kindled against Israel. It should be, right? Now understand. And the Most High said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Most High against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Most High may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. So you mean to tell me these Moabite women enticed our forefathers into falling under the power, in a nutshell, and the Most High judged them right there and killed them. But for some reason, Ruth, an ethnic Moabite, if she's not supposed to be, he just let her come in and get favor, gleaning with our forefathers. She's a Moabite now, if she's a Moabite, and she gets to marry into the company, to the congregation, and get to dwell. That's just not lining up, you guys. Why did the law change here? He said we couldn't marry them. He said we couldn't do that, but this one, it's okay. It didn't say if she switch up, it doesn't say anywhere in the law, if any of the other heathens change up and follow our laws, we can marry them and get with them. It doesn't say that, you guys. Let's read something else. All right, does it say it about Moabites, right? Let's read something else. This is Deuteronomy 23 and verse 2. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Most High, even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Most High. Verse 3, an Ammonite or a Moabite, which Ruth is supposed to be, shall not enter into the congregation of the Most High, even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Most High forever. If she's a Moabite forever, according to the law, she can never come amongst us. This is two clear strikes against this Ruth woman that's a female. If she's a Moabite, this is two that she's already breaking the law right here, you guys. Crystal clear. We're going to drop down to verse 8. I'm going to read verse 7 and 8 as well. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land. The children that are begotten of them shall enter to the congregation of the Most High in their 3rd generation. I told y'all, when you look at the law, when you look at this law, which is executed by Nehemiah and Ezra, and they begin to separate from Yasharallah all the strange women of the land, Moabites are included, and that verse is referenced when this is exacted and executed. Let's read it. This is Nehemiah chapter 13, right? And verse 1. On that day, they read in the book of Moses in the audience of the people, and there was found written that the Ammonite and the Moabite should not come into the congregation of the Most High forever. Why does Ruth get to do it? It said forever. There's no expiration on ever. Why does she get to do that, you guys? Y'all see this? Because they met not the children of Israel with bread and with water, but hired Balaam against them, that he should curse them. Howbeit our power turned not the curse into a blessing. Now, let's look at verse 3, Nehemiah 13:3. Now it came to pass when they had heard the law that they separated from Israel all the mixed multitude. Do y'all hear that? Let's look and see who's included in all this mixed multitude that got separated. Let's go to Ezra, man. All right, let's go to Ezra. What does this say? This is Ezra chapter 10, and he reiterates the same transgression. Ezra chapter 10 and verse 3. Now therefore let us make a covenant with our power to put away all the wise and such as are born of them, according to the counsel of my master and of those that tremble at the commandments of the Most High power. I pray that you're trembling and you're fearfully working out your soul salvation, Yasharal, in all manner of the law. You're supposed to tremble. We're supposed to err on the side of caution. We're supposed to be circumspect with our law. We're not supposed to be that's close enough, that's good enough. You're doing too much, that's over righteous. I don't got to do that. I got a Mashiach. No, you don't. A Mashiach haven't given nobody, the Most High have given nobody a reason or a license to sin. These law endure forever. I pray y'all care. I pray y'all care with all your heart, mind, and strength. Right? It says that, and those that tremble at the commandment of our power, and let it be done according to the law. What law are they separating these heathens and the children from the nation of Israel? What law? The one we just read, Deuteronomy. Right? We just read it. Get separate from these Ammonites, Moabites, Egyptians, everybody. And let's read and let's see verbatim. Who are these people that they mix with? So we don't have to guess, right? Who are these people that our forefathers mixed with? This is Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Jebusites and the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians and the Amorites. Why in the world would Ezra, Nehemiah, right, get the buckling up, rebuking the children of Israel for being with Moabites and making them separate from them? But Ruth, she just good to go. She just cool. This is not lining up, you guys. And they're doing this separation according to the law, you guys. This is not lining up. How come it's cool like that for her to get to do that? The Most High is not a respecter of persons. The Most High said all the nations are nothing to him. It's not possible. It's not possible, you guys, for us to make a covenant with them. That's in our law. Don't make a covenant with them. But they're going to invite you to serve their powers and give you their sacrifices and turn you away from me, and I'm going to get jealous, and then I'm going to have to exact my anger upon you, which he did in the law. This is not lining up. If Ruth is a Moabite, you guys, it's not lining up. They can't come into the congregation of the children of Israel forever. We can't marry them because they're not of Israel, right? Our forefather judged our forefathers for dealing with them, and he even had Ezra and Nehemiah when our forefathers coming back out of the Babylon captivity to separate from these people, verbatim Moabites, right? This is not hard, right? There's a extra biblical text that is clearly plagiarized, all right? And I read it years ago, and I actually revisited it last month. It's the Testament of Gad. It says in there there was a man of Moabite, a man of Moab that respected and feared, Israel, and really wanted to join the house of Yasharallah unto King David. And in a nutshell, he surrendered himself to be a slave in Israel just so he can be in Israel, right? Now, according to the law, it says that they cannot enter the congregation. So he asked David, and David went to the Most High, asked him, the Most High told him, no, he can't come into the congregation. And the man mentioned unto him, what about Ruth? Because mind you, King David's life is after Ruth. And this is the plagiarism of it. It says that he asked him, how come Ruth got to come into the congregation then? And the way that it's plagiarized, it says David went back to the Most High, and the Most High told him, a Moabite man can't come into the congregation, but a Moabite woman, yes, she can come. That's horrible. That's adding to the law. That's why you got to know Torah, because you'll be able to spot the folly easy, right? That's what the scripture says. Through thy precepts, Psalms 119 and 104, through thy precepts, I get understanding. Therefore, I hate every false way. You're going to see the falsehood because the precepts are the commandments of the Most High. You're going to see, hold on, that's a lie. That's bull. That's going against Torah. It said Moabite. It didn't say Moabite, man. It's not are Moabites only regarded as men? If you're a girl, you're not a Moabite unless we say you're a Moabite girl. You understand, y'all? You gotta understand this, right? And then there's some type of misunderstanding with this man in Judith, right? Y'all know about Judith. She was the one that rose up, to give Israel victory over Heathens, which is a general of Nebuchadnezzar, right? When they were running up on the house of Yasharal. There's a story in there, all right, of a man. His name is Akor, and he brings up a report to Heathens, like, don't mess with the Israelites. When they follow in their power, you not finna beat them. I'll read it right quick, and then I'll show you the folly with him being even brought up. Right, this is Judah chapter 5, and I'll just read his testimony right quick. Jude chapter 5 and verse 20. Now therefore, my master and governor, this is Achor talking to Holofernes. If there be any error in this people in Israel, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. We can get at these dudes and destroy them, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. Verse 21, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my master now pass by, lest their master defend them, and their power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. Right? So he's telling them, don't mess with these dudes if they haven't transgressed against their power, because that's going to be our ruin, and we're going to be a laughingstock in the whole world, because we went up against a nation that the Most High, their power fights for them. Now, mind you, after this report, they take him down and put him in the valley between their camp and the nation of Israel and Judah, right? Listen to this. This is Judah 6 and verse 10. Then Holofernes commanded his servants, because he didn't believe what Achor said. And Holofernes commanded his servants that waited in his tent to take Achor and bring him to Bethulia and deliver him into the hands of the children of Israel. So his servants took him and brought him out of the camp into the plain, and they went from the midst of the plain into the hill country, that's known as Israel, and came into the fountains that were under Bethulia. Let's drop down to the point. Verse 14. But the Israelites descended from their city and came unto him and loosed him and brought him into Bethulia and presented him to the governors of the city. This is being interpreted some type of way of them accepting him into the congregation. He's a spy. He's a dumb agent of war. They're about to interrogate him. What do they say to him? They bring him into the city. Verse 15, which were in those days Ozias, the governors, Ozias, the son of Micah, of the tribe of Simeon, and Chabrish, the son of Gothniel, and Charmis, the son of Melchiel. And they called together all the ancients of the city, all the elders, and all the youth ran together, and their women to the assembly, and they set Achor in the midst of all their people. Then Ozias asked him of that which was done. So they're interrogating him, right? They're not saying, oh, you're good, you're one of us now, you can chill, right? Mind you, he tells them that I warned them about you, right? And this is what they feel. They're going to come attack you anyway. So they kicked me out and said they're going to kill me when they come kill y'all. So verse 21, it says, verse 20, it says, then they comforted Achor and praised him greatly. They respect, all right, good man, I appreciate you, tell him good looking out, right? Verse 21, and Ozias took him out of the assembly unto his house and made him a feast. He made him something to eat. Made a feast to the elders, and they called on the Most High of Israel all that night for help. Mind you, the Most High only hears the prayers of Israel, his saints. He doesn't accept none of the sacrifices of non-Israelites. This is this is Isaiah 40, 15 through 17, right? Even the best cedar, the best wood in the earth is from Lebanon. He said, that's not good enough to do a sacrifice to me, because I don't want you to sacrifice to me. You have your own power. They saying because they brought him into the camp to interrogate him, and then he got a feast that he was accepted. Mind you, let's see what nation he's from. So this can show you there's no way he came into the congregation as one of us. This is Judah chapter 5, verse 1. Then it was declared to Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Assyria, that the children of Israel had prepared for war, and had shut up the passages of the hill country, and had fortified all the tops of the high hills, and had laid impediments in the champion countries. Wherewith he was very angry, and called all the princes of Moab, and the captains of Ammon, and all the governors of the sea coast, because they want intelligence on why these people bucking up. We mop everybody up. Why would they fight against us, right? Verse 3, and he said unto them, tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and wherein is their power and strength, where they feel like they got all this confidence to think they finna fight me, and what king is set over them, or captain or of their army, and why have they determined not to come to meet me more than all the heavens of the west? Why are they rebelling like they really finna fight me? Now let's see what it says. Verse 5. Then said Achor, the captain of all the sons of Ammon. He's not even a Moabite, right? I was told this man's a Moabite and got brought in. He's not even a Moabite. He's the captain of Ammon. Yet and still, he falls under the same judgment, the same law of the Moabite, right? What is that law, right? And we read to you what he said and what happened to him. But according to the law, what? He's a bastard. He cannot come into the congregation of the children of Israel. To the 10th generation, he should not enter in forever. This is including every Moabite. This is including Ruth, you guys. All right? This is what y'all got to understand. Now, actually touching one more thing. This is just about his spirit, right? There's an understanding about these land masses, right? In Daniel, all right? Oh, I gotta read this. Oh, let me read this. Oh, this is getting at me right now, you guys. I gotta read this to y'all. I think it's 25. I believe it is 25. Yep. This is Ezekiel 25. Right? Now listen to this. Ezekiel 25. This is the Most High's judgment on Ammonites, Moabites, and Seir, right? Okay, let's just read at verse 8. This is Ezekiel 25 and 8. Thus said a higher power, because that Moab and Seir do say, behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen. They serve all the other powers. They just like us. Verse 9, therefore, behold, I will open the side of Moab from his cities which are on his frontiers, the glory of the country of Beth Jeshimoth, remember that city? Baal, Maon, and Kiriathim, right? Verse 10, unto the men of the east. So he's going to let the men of the east, who are they? Ishmaelites and all the other sons of Keturah, the Midianites, Kedar, Dedanium, all the other sons of Keturah, the other children of the east. He said he's going to open up the cities of Moab to them with the Ammonites and will give them in possession, and that the Ammonites may not be remembered among the nations. So this is showing you that the Moabite people, the Ammonite people, are going to be mingled with the children of the east. In this modern time day in Jordan, that's what you got. So this is telling you they're not going to just be strictly restricted to their inhabited land at this time. You understand? They're up from Urbit down to the Red Sea. All right, this is where they're at. But the place where our forefathers, right, and I'm talking a little bit about the things I'm going to speak on when I do this next lesson for the wilderness. The place where we're going to be at, it doesn't change. It's still the wilderness, right? Verse 11, and I will execute judgment upon Moab, and they shall know that I am the Most High. This is why I told y'all every nation got to return to their place, right? This destroys. This is why the scripture says every man should return to their own people and their own nation, because everyone has a judgment already executed upon them, right? But I read that to show y'all that the Moabites have a judgment that they can't run from and come join themselves to us, or no nation. No nation gets to do this. Every nation got to face the music, right? Real soon, man. I'll read it real quick. One more. Isaiah, right? ET one more time. All right, this is Isaiah. Chapter 13 and 15. Everyone, matter of fact, let me go back one verse. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14. It shall be as the chase roll, as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Everyone about to go back to their own land. When the children of Israel are brought back into Yasharal, we're going in alone. I tell you that, Deuteronomy. We'll read that and be done. All right? We're going in alone. There's nobody coming with us, you guys. And this is before the Mashiach. This is the chronology before Mashiach. No one's coming in us alone. And when they do come, we're going to bring them in chains. We're going to bring them as captives, as bondmen and bondwomen, as a possession, Father. A possession forever, right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 28. It says, Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. This is when we get brought back into the land. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also his heaven shall drop dew. This is already described in the law, showing you what land is talking about. Verse 29, happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people, saved by the Most High, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thine enemies shall be fine liars unto thee, and shall tread upon their high places. You know what? Got to get another one. Because we got enemies, right? Is Moab one of them? If Ruth, she's an Israelite, she's supposed to be one of our enemies. I don't know how she get to come. No, it's Psalms 83, right? Keep not thou silent, O Hiah. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Hiah. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee are lifted up the head. So we got people that hate us, that are enemies, that lift up the head. What else is they doing? Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hated ones. They talking bad about us. They trying to do something against our betterment, against our prosperity, against our salvation, right? Verse 4, they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab. They're the third one that's mentioned. They are enemies. But some kind of way, we got to marry them, and it got to be a lawful marriage, right? And they get to take inheritances with us, right? The inheritance meaning they're joined unto us, right? Y'all got to understand today, all right? Salvation is not universal. It's for the remnant of Yasharal. The promises for the remnant of Yasharal. No one is going to join unto us and be a fellow heir. That's not of the nation of Yasharal. That's not of Abraham's seed. That will be breaking the oath that the Most High swore upon himself, because there's none greater. He said that. I'll read it again, man. I'll just read the one in Galatians. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stop, because it should be understood clearly this far, down into the chronology of things. People should understand by now what's going on, right? This Galatians chapter 3 and verse 16. Now to Abraham and his seed, singular, were the promises made. Is the land a promise? Yes. It's going to be a possession for the children of Israel forever? Yes. That's a promise. So he said that. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said not. He didn't say this. And to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, singular, which is the Mashiach. That has to tell you, all right, that the promised seed, which is the land, can only be to Israelites. It can't be splitted, divided up, inclusive of any other seed. It said not unto seeds. All right? It can't be. No other offspring, only the offspring of Jacob, right? Also, I'm going to tell you something else slick. Please watch out for this stuff, you guys. When you're breaking down Ruth, you're breaking down Ruth according to the time frame of Ruth. That's why the first thing it says in the book of Ruth, the first thing it does, it gives you the time frame. Man, you guys, you got people out here with forward tongues. Slick, right? By the devil, slick. What does it say, Ruth 1 and 1? Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. This is going to happen. You can't look further in the scripture, right? I'll just show you. When we end up losing that land, and other people start dwelling in that land, then you can't do that and then try to take those lands and say, you know what, take the inhabitants of those lands and try to draw conclusive lines of what land we inhabited that was ours and all of that. You can't do that, dude. I'll pray y'all hear me, man. All right? I pray you guys hear me. Let's get Let's go over that real quick. You have to study this word according to the time frame of when this was done. You can't just pick any part of the Bible and apply it to here. That's what's being done, you guys. I pray you all not deceive out here, man. I pray you guys not deceive out here. Yeah, that's why I got to keep on going over this. I have to keep on bringing this out because this is what people are doing. Right? We read about Heshbon. We read about Nebo. We read about Jazer. We read about Dibon. These are lands that are in Reuben's land inheritance now. Bezer. Right? But later on in the scripture, after Reuben, half tribe of Manasseh, are kicked out of the land, which I'm going to read to you right now. After that, then these lands went back to the Heathens, and these cities are referenced by these people again, referenced as Moab's land again, referenced as Ammon's land again. Y'all understand? And then they're trying to be tied to as it was originally that way. No, you guys, not at all, not at all. And I'm gonna get that for y'all right now. That's not cool. Not cool, you guys. You know how long did it say that the Reubenites dwelt in that land? 300 years. 300 years. After 300 years, let's see what happened. All right? 300 years. It's lucky, y'all. Because I'm taking a minute. But I got to get this, man. Because this is the deceit that's going on. I don't want you guys to get deceived, man. I don't want y'all getting tricked. I pray I come up on it. Ah, man. Is it Kings? Y'all have patience with me today. I know it's been a different this day, yeah. I'm slack today. I slack today. Man, what is that? Where is that verse? Where's that verse at, man? Hold on, you guys, please. I don't want to end this verse or this lesson without bringing this out. I know some of y'all know where it's at, but nobody watching right now. Okay, I should be coming up on it right now. Here we go. Okay. You know, if I don't find it, y'all, I'm gonna just have to put it in the chat. All right. Because I don't want to hold y'all. Here we go. Salakia, y'all. This is First Chronicles chapter 5. All right. And I'm gonna just start at verse 25. And they transgressed against the power of their fathers and went a whoring after other powers of the people of the land, whom the Most High destroyed before them. And the power of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, king of Assyria, and the spirit of Telgas-Pilneser, king of Assyria. This is before Nebuchadnezzar, right? And he carried them away, even the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them unto Halah and Habur and Harah, and to the river Gazan unto this day. So understand, you guys, our forefathers, namely the Reubenites, they weren't always there, right? Mind you, this is way after Ruth. Afterward, they end up getting taken out of that land, and Israel was restricted. The whole nation of Israel was just restricted as from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, and then, down toward the Red Sea, the parts that we took, Negev, southern, up into the area of Dan on the northern part. That was only Israel. Wasn't no more Israelite territories on, so like on the east side of Jordan, as we read that Joshua allotted that land, or Moses allotted that land. Y'all understand? So if further in the scripture, past this right here, you hear somebody talking about lands that apply to Moab, that we already read were allotted to the Reubenites, then you know that the chronology they're looking at is not according to the time of the judges. Everything has to be from the time of the judges and before to prove that the people there were Moabites, as far as the land of Reuben, in which there were none there. All right. So I pray y'all got this understanding. I pray y'all got this revelation. I pray that you keeping the Most High first, loving Him, trusting Him, fearing Him with all your heart, mind, and strength. There was another explosion. I got to speak on it, right? I told you about the two explosions. One explosion, I was in El Segundo in Chevron, where I told y'all I came into the truth, LA. Then they had the explosion down in Houston. And then they had another one in Tennessee. I think this one happened like 2 or 3 days ago. It seems pretty clear, you guys, that these processing plants are under attack. They're part of the agenda, and they're just tearing everything down, you guys. You see what it is, right? 2 more earthquakes happened in Philippines since I talked to y'all last. 2 more, right? Tsunamis, right? Tsunami warnings are going on right now, right? Just speaking on these things because too much. It's just things that happen all the time, man. Consecration, you guys, intimacy and surrender to the Most High. That's what's gonna get you there right now. All right. Your prayer life, it got to be strong, got to be fervent. Lay your burdens before Him, lay your hopes, lay your cares before Him. If you don't know how to walk in the power, man, it's about declaration. It's not about accent. It's about coming to the throne of the Most High's boldly, coming to the throne boldly, because we get to do that because of Yeshua. That's what y'all got to understand. If you're not there and you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to make that your priority. Not just reading all day and reading. Meditate and talk to the Father. Father, I want to know you more. I want to know how to operate. I want to be in spirit with you. All right. I want to know how to operate in the spirit. That's what's going to help you. That's what's going to save you in these last days. Right? Yeah, that worshipment should worship in spirit and in truth. We read all day long, but we got to get this spirit stuff. We're lacking. We're in a dire weight right now with our submission and devotion to the Most High. Right? We're on dire weights right now. Unjust balance, right? So I just wanted to go over that. High willing, man. Y'all pray my strength. Most High willing, I get on back to the tent, to the Quartz Desert. And we'll talk about that desert, right, as the wilderness, all right? All praise to the Most Mighty, Ahayashua, Hayabashim, Yeshai. Kwam Yasharala. Love y'all. Shalom.